So let me start over. It's our team call. We're talking all about rank and rank advancements. I am going to screen share really quickly. Let me move this. So I felt like it would be a really good topic at the beginning of the year so last night I had a new coach getting started right call. And it was an awesome like segue into tonight. So whether you're a new coach or you've been here for a while, rank advancement is something that is so important and critical to your business. And honestly, as a leader, it's just something that I haven't done a great job of talking about consistently. So I wanted to just kick off this year with the importance of it, what it means, why it matters for your life, for your vision, for your business, and how to get there. So kind of before we like dive into the slides that I have, just to give you a little bit of background, and some of you already know this, but for the first 3 years of my business, I consider myself like very much a hobby coach. I wanted to be a full-time working coach, and I did just enough to meet like the first goals that I had, which were huge goals. I wanted to be able to stay home with my son. And it just the way kind of our finances worked, I needed to make $700 a month with coaching in order to leave my job as a nurse to be at home. Because by the time I paid my nanny to keep my son for my 12-hour shifts, I was making $700 a month. Like that's what I was bringing home. So that was my first goal, like create that and come home. And so I did that. I'm not trying to say that I did it easily, but I did it without really working this business every single day, consistently showing up day in and day out. And by showing up day in and day out and being all in, that didn't mean, all day, every day. It just meant those first few years, I would really not do very much at the beginning of a month. And then I would hustle at the end of the month to hit Success Club, make sure I maintained my rank, like did the things that I needed to do. Um, and that sort of created this like cycle of not really going anywhere. Right. And it's because in part, I wasn't super focused on, I need to understand the importance of what advancing in rank and continuing to grow my team would mean for my business and for our income. So in 2018, I just was at this point in my business where I was ready to not be in that vicious cycle anymore of like having these expectations for coaching, but not really doing the activities that match them, therefore not really making the income that I wanted to make. And so I just drew a line in the sand and was like, I'm showing up for this every single day. I'm going to get to that next rank. I'm going to grow my income. I'm going to grow this team. I'm going to grow my volume. And so I just, maybe that speaks to you, maybe it doesn't. But if you've been here for a while and, you know, maybe 2020 was a really, really, really tough year for you. It was a really, really, really tough year for me and for a lot of the coaches on my team. But I'm here to tell you that at any point in your business, you can draw a line and you can say, I'm ready to do this. I'm going to change my mindset. I'm going to let 2020 go and I'm going to start fresh. And so with that, let's talk about some rank. If I can figure out how to scroll. Okay, so this is just a brief overview. I think based on the faces that I'm seeing on the call, you guys probably already know all of this, but in case you don't, or if you're watching the recording, this is just a brief like overview of the first few ranks in our business. So obviously, number one is Go Emerald. That means you have 2 coaches. Ruby is a rank that is often skipped over, not because you purposefully do it, but because sometimes it just happens that you go from emerald to diamond because it plays out that way. But as an emerald or as a Ruby coach, you have 4 coaches on your team, 2 on either side, and you have your 2 emeralds. And then as a diamond coach, you have 8 coaches that you have personally sponsored 2 of them are emeralds, and they have to be on opposite sides. I feel like there are people trying to get in this call. I'm going to pause this screen share. Nope. I'm going to stop it for a minute. Nope, there's nobody in the waiting room. Okay, it just keeps blinking at me. But if y'all see anybody in our team page, Ignite and Shine, or in Krista's team page that are trying to get in and can't, just let me know. Because when I'm screen sharing, I can't see the waiting room. Okay. So also want to review really quickly the cycle bonus, because it's important to understand not just how you get, the tangible pieces of what it means to get to the next rank, but also what it means to have that higher cycle bonus, and why that's important to your business. So in case you don't know, our business center, our business is created with 2 legs. Okay. So every single time you can balance 300 volume points within your team, and this happens weekly, you earn a cycle bonus. So that means that you need 200 TV on one side to 100 on the other. You earn a team cycle bonus. So let's just say I'm going to type while we're talking so that you guys can get a visual. And I made this little graphic so that it's kind of obvious that one side is a strong side and one side is a weak side. Okay, so if you finished a week and you had 600 volume on one side and 300 volume on the other side, every single time you can subtract 200 from your strong side and 100 from your weak side. That's a cycle. So in this example, 300 to 600, you cycle 3 times. As an emerald coach, you times that by $14. As a diamond coach, you times that by $18. I remember in the beginning, as an emerald coach and trying to grow, I remember thinking well, $4 doesn't really seem like that big of a deal. But as your team continues to grow and as you see that volume go from 600 to 2,000, for example, that $4 difference is a big deal. So, don't let that prevent you from seeing the value and the importance of advancing and growing your cycle bonus numbers, because it does add up. And remember, this is weekly. Okay, so brief overview of Emerald. We're not going to really spend much time here because I think most of you have already done this. Emerald just means, again, you plus 2. You have your 2 coaches. You have opened up your business center to be able to earn your team cycle bonuses. Guys, if you have the vision to build a business, you have decided I want to earn income from home, whether that's part-time or whether that's I want to create financial freedom or anywhere in between. Emerald is non-negotiable if any of that is your vision. You have to get to Emerald. Guys, this can be done literally in a day. I said this on our new coach call last night, reaching out to your best friend and signing up your spouse. Boom, you're Emerald. It's a decision. It's truly just, I want to build this business. I know it starts with Emerald. I got to get this done, and doing it. Over the years of coaching, because I've been coaching for quite a while, I have realized that, and partially I think this is some of my fault, I placed so much emphasis on getting to Emerald. We have Emerald calls and go Emerald in 24 hours and go Emerald in 7 days or whatever it may be, that we get to Emerald and we sit there. We just stay at Emerald and maybe we add a couple other coaches, but we don't see the importance of getting to that next step, which is Diamond. And honestly, like I said, over the years of just being here and working this business and helping other women, diamond is another stepping stone. Emerald is that first like negotiable, non-negotiable, this is what I got to do. Diamond is a stepping stone to what comes after that. And so what I would say is that diamond should be your short-term goal. Speaking because we're at the beginning of a year, right? So like if you're thinking of, okay, I have this whole year ahead of me, getting to diamond should be a short-term goal. It means it's you and 12 people. If we're hitting Success Club, we're adding 3 people every single month, or maybe your goal is 3 to 5 people. You could get to your number that you need for diamond in 2 to 3 months, right? Because remember, we need 8 coaches, 4 on each side. And then it's a matter of helping 2 of your coaches see the importance of getting to Emerald and opening their business and impacting other people, so that, like it says down here at the bottom, your impact really starts to grow. You start to see this ripple effect of what can happen when your team starts to grow. I think that diamond for me was like the aha moment that this was so much fun, because I finally had women that wanted to do this with me. You know, when I had my first Emerald, well, Nick was my first Emerald because I built him because I could control that, right? Like that's the power of enrolling your spouse. But then when I had my second Emerald pop, it was like, holy cow, I have someone that wants to do this with me. And what can we do together, and the lives that we can touch, like being exciting and running together as a team. So again, you know, I think some of this is my fault for not diving more into the importance of diamond, but don't place this cloud over your head that it's this really hard thing to accomplish. Break it down. You need your 8 coaches, and we need to find really one person who wants to do this with you, and then build your spouse. And that's the simplicity of what it could be to get to diamond. When I was making these slides, when I got to the 2-star part, it kind of feels hard for me to talk about this because I have never accomplished 2-star. I'm not a 2-star diamond coach. I'm a 1-star. 2 years in a row, I had 2 diamonds pop on the same side as my husband. So the way the business center works, just like for diamond, you have to have 2 emeralds opposite of each other. To get to 2-star, you have to have 2 diamonds opposite of each other. So 2 years in a row, I technically could have been 2-star, but they fell on the same side. So I don't have my second business center yet. I don't know what it feels like to be a 2-star diamond, but I know that it is my number 1 priority and my goal this year to get there. Because, and we're going to talk about this in the next slide, or a couple slides down. But being in a position to recreate yourself, like when you get to 2-star and you're able to create Danielle 2, Sarah 2, Krista has her Krista 2 because she's a 2-star. Having that ability just completely opens up everything for you to really have more control over how your volume grows and the way your team cycle bonuses continue to grow. So again, you know, I said this on a team call a couple weeks ago, just reflecting so much at the end of 2020 over 2020, but also just over the past few years, and realizing that to build this business, we need to sort of shift our, like, what is truly what should be our focus, because we focus so much on getting to Emerald and then let's work for diamond. But what if we just shift our perspective a little bit and focused on Emerald is a non-negotiable, we're going to get to diamond, and then we're going to work for 2-star, so that all of you who have goals of being debt-free, paying off your student loans, not having to work 2 jobs, building the house of your dreams, those sort of big goals. Samantha shared with me last night, you know, a really huge vision for her family that has to do with her husband's job situation. Like, Those kind of big vision goals happen because we grow our business and we advance in rank. So remember that diamond is a stepping stone, and 2-star is the beyond goal. Also, I didn't say this, but when you become a 2-star, you're also able to tap into the star diamond bonus for the first time. So what happens is 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, and 15-star, there are quarterly star diamond bonuses. On average, the 2-star quarterly bonus is about $1,000. 5-star is normally around 5,000 because you get the 2-star quarterly bonus and you get the 5-star, right? So this is on top of your team cycle bonuses. This is on top of any commission that you're earning, but you have the opportunity to earn this quarterly bonus. So don't forget that piece. Okay, so numbers really, really drive me. Like when I start helping a coach like go from kind of doing this as a hobby to like, I have this big vision and I want to get there, numbers is my sweet spot for like figuring out how we're going to make that happen. So I did a little bit of research. Google, you can Google anything, right? And just sort of figured out, okay, what are the average income numbers for these different ranks? I wanted y'all to see that so that you can start putting the pieces together for how rank equates to that vision that you have and getting there. So on average, across Team Beachbody, an emerald earns about $333 a month. A diamond is about $1,500 a month. 1-star diamond, honestly, there is no research on Google for what 1-star diamonds make that I could find, so I'm just sharing with you my average. 2-star diamond, the average was $4,500 a month. 5-star diamond, $8,000 a month. So you can see as your team grows, as your rank advances, and your volume is growing, your income is growing. My hope and like my ultimate, just in my heart, vision for you guys is that you are able to go from a commission-based business to a residual income-based business. And that's what happens as your team grows and as your rank changes. You start to earn more in team cycle bonus than you do in commission. And that's why you see these numbers grow so drastically. A 5-star diamond isn't making on average $8,000 a month because she's retailing her face off. She's making that because she has found the people and her leaders and her crew that want to do this with her, and her volume has exploded. Of course, down here at the bottom, I have the Beachbody income disclaimer because we all know it's based on our own diligence and how hard we work to get there. I have to say that because I'm recording this. Okay, so I want you to think about those numbers for a second. If you're sitting at coach, like you're not even an emerald yet, think about what that next step could be like. What would an extra $300 do for you in your life? I know for me, as a brand new coach, that was my car payment. Like I wanted to leave my job so that I could be at home with Cooper, and paying my car payment was one of the things I had to be able to do. What about an extra $1,000? Like what, $1,000 is a lot of money. What would that do for your family, for your life? Could that be, the amount of money that you need to save so that you can take your family to Disney, or take your husband, out of the country on a trip you've never been on? Or maybe it's paying off your student loans because you have a lot of student loan debt and you want to be financially free. And then what about a number like $8,000 a month? That's life-changing income, right? So this is how you start to really connect the dots of, this is the goal I have, like this is the vision that I have. And so what is the rank? What do I need to do in my business to get there? So you attach the tangible to the vision, right? So by tangible, I mean, for example, if I increase my cycle bonus to $18 and I earned $150 a week alone in Team Cycle bonus, so that's not including your commissions, I could do X, Y, or Z. By increasing your Team Cycle bonus to $18, that would mean that you advanced in rank to diamond. If I went 2-star and I earned that quarterly $1,000 bonus on top of the Team Cycle bonus numbers that would be growing because your team is growing, what could you do with that? If I created total financial freedom with this business, it would mean, y'all know me, I just got chills. Like, what would that mean for your family, for your life, for yourself? I think it's so important to understand the importance of what rank. There's a helicopter flying over our house and it's really low. Kind of startled me. What rank means, and not just, oh, well, diamond's the next thing that I need to do. Really understanding why it matters. So that's why, I have these questions, and I would challenge you, like, seriously sit with that. What would happen if I was a 2-star? What would happen if I was a 5-star? Okay. So probably everybody's like, that sounds great, but how do we actually do that, right? So number one, we have to have goals and we have to set dates, because I'll speak for myself personally. If I say, oh, I want to make $10,000 a month, and I just end it there, like, that sounds great and I'm excited by that, but I don't have the urgency, to focus really hard and make sure I'm doing what I need to do to make that happen. So you need to have the goal, but you also need to have the goal date. So what I would suggest, and Krista, I don't know exactly like all of your coaches' situations that are here with us tonight, but most of my coaches that I see here tonight, you guys have been here. This is, you know how to work your business. You know the things to do daily. You're all at least in Emerald. Some of you have gotten so close to diamond. I would suggest that you set your diamond goal date not far from now. Give yourself the urgency to get up and get the things done, right? And then if you miss it, so what? You have a couple more months in the year. Krista and I were having this conversation not too long ago about the importance of using the first half of a year to really just work hard and reach, get to where you want to go. Because what happens in the fall? We all know that the fall is hard in our business. So if we have this goal of like, okay, I want to be diamond in 2021, that's 12 months from now. If we wait until September to really get in the like mindset of, okay, I'm going to go emerald or diamond this year, it's going to be so much harder to do that in September, October, November than it is in January, February, March. Like, this is the time right now to push yourself. And then if you have that goal of going diamond, don't stop there. Make your 2021 goal 2-star, because you lock in diamond early, and then you have the rest of the year to really figure out, okay, who are my leaders? Who are the ladies I can work with and run with? And who wants to do this with me? And imagine what insane, things you could accomplish at the end of the year if you hustle early to lock in that first stepping stone and then work for the bigger goal. So just like breaking it down, we're all focused on helping at least 3 to 5 people a month get started on their fitness journey, right? So talk to them about the opportunity that coaching is. I think that in 2018, when so much of my business changed, one like really tangible thing that I can pinpoint that I started doing was offering the discount up front. Prior to that, I would sign up challengers, and I would, I could hustle and get Success Club and have people that really got great transformations, but I didn't talk to them about coaching maybe until a month or 2 in. And sometimes that's when people have lost their steam. They've lost their momentum. But I found if I brought people in as a coach from day one, their accountability was higher. They were really happy because they got a discount. And some of them who got their results, they plugged in, they loved the community. It was natural for them to want to help other people do what they had done. I think I missed the boat in my first few years of not offering that up front because, what if that challenger who got great results by week 3 was posting about it and had her, coworker see her post, and then it was like, oh my gosh, this is what coaching is about. I can do that, right? So don't ever not offer the coaching opportunity up front. I personally, in the message that I send, and I can share it if you guys don't have it, but I just say, you have the choice. You can enroll as a coach or a customer. Deciding to enroll as a coach doesn't mean that you have to work this business. You're going to get your discount and you're going to be happy about that. But if you decide you want to make some extra money from home, we can talk about the business as you go. All you got to do is let me know. So I don't just leave it at you can earn your discount. I go ahead and plant that seed of this is an income earning potential. And if you want to, learn more about that, we can talk about it, but I don't put the pressure on them to actually actively coach in the beginning. And I found, I think for one reason I didn't really offer the coaching opportunity at first is because I thought that people would see that and then decide, oh, well, never mind, I don't want to do that. Like it was just this limiting belief and this fear that I had. But over time of doing that consistently, hands down, people will be upfront if they have no interest in signing up as a coach for the discount. And that's fine, right? Like I've offered it, I've planted the seed, and if they don't want to do it, it's totally fine. I've never had anyone when I've sent that last message, because what we do is we like go through the whole process, right? Like I know their goals. We talk about the challenge pack. They've told me what their selection is. I know what their flavors are going to be. And then I'll say, oh, and I have one more question before I send you your link. And then I send that spiel about coaching. I've never had anyone say, never mind, I don't want to do this. So, don't let that hold you back. Number 3 is inviting to the coaching opportunity outside of just offering it to your challengers who are signing up and inviting to sneak peeks. Inviting to the coaching opportunity for me looks like always going back to those coaches those customers who told me, no, I'm not interested in the discount. If they're plugged into my boot camp and they're posting and they're showing up and they're getting great results, and even if they're not posting, but we're talking and I know they're getting great results, they're going to get an invite from me about becoming a coach. And then if I see someone on social media and we've connected and we've built this relationship and I just have this vibe, I'm going to talk to them about coaching. In the very, very, very beginning of my business, I talked about coaching to everybody. Like my coworkers, my best friends, anybody that I thought this could benefit, I talked to them about what I was doing, health and fitness wise, and also coaching. Sneak peeks are such an awesome way for you to organically invite to coaching. I think a lot of times it feels less scary to invite someone to a sneak peek than it does to just the coaching opportunity in general. So I think it's on another slide, but I'm hosting one on January the 22nd. Krista, you and your girls are welcome to join in if you want to. But it's such an easy and organic way to invite to coaching because you can simply share a little bit of your story. This is what I do. This is why I love it. I have an information group on January the 22nd. Would you be interested in learning more? That's it. Number 4 is post about coaching and talk about it in your stories and share the reel. This is another really tangible thing that I can pinpoint from 2018 that I did differently. The first few years of my business, I would maybe once a month talk about coaching because I was scared to talk about it. I didn't, I really, really, really was caught up in what other people would think, right? Like, oh, she's doing one of those things. So I didn't talk about it because I was really stuck on what people might think. But when in 2018, I started sharing, the difference in what an income from home made versus working out of the house as a nurse, like the time that I had at home, or the ability to, I kind of took it back to the beginning when I was able to make my car payment with my coaching income, or when I could buy groceries or I could buy diapers. Like a lot of times, those really little pieces of what you're able to do with your income is what relates to people, because maybe you're a relatively new coach and you made $100 in December. That's $100 that you didn't have otherwise. So what were you able to do with that? Maybe you put it on a credit card. Maybe you bought your husband part of his Christmas present with that. Maybe you went and got your hair done or a manicure and a pedicure. Like, don't ever think that because you may not have X number of dollars coming in from coaching every single month, you can't talk about it. And even if you have not earned $1 as a coach, you can talk about why you're here. You can talk about why you're excited to be a coach, why you want to build this business, what you know you're going to work for so that coaching can be X, Y, or Z in your life, right? Hands down, talking about the coaching opportunity makes 100% difference, because think about it. If you are like, okay, I'm going to invite to the sneak peek, but you never ever talk about coaching on your social media, if you invite someone to a sneak peek and they've never seen you talk about what you do, they're going to be really confused. So your invites kind of have to match the things that show up in your social media. Number 5 is give yourself time. Y'all, I've been here a long time. I've talked tonight about how the first few years of my business, I wasn't consistent. I wasn't focused on, taking massive action and doing big things because I was so caught up in what people might think. I didn't talk about the coaching opportunity very well. I didn't talk about it at all. But what if I had quit in 2017 when I wanted to? Like, Kristen and I were just sort of first starting to know each other then. And I mean, I can remember voice messaging and just being so blue and down and frustrated. But really, my frustration was I had these expectations for this business, but I wasn't doing the action to meet it, right? If I hadn't given myself the time to grow into the person that could create a full-time income from home, I would never have done it. So this business isn't built overnight, right? You're not going to go diamond in a week. I mean, I guess you could. I guess that's technically possible. But you have to give yourself time. And then long-lasting businesses are not built in a year, right? It's not an easy feat to go from 0, I'm a brand new coach, to I'm a 5-star in 1 year, meaning you have leaders, you have people building this with you, and you have this business that's going to sustain. That's not easy to do in a year. So you've got to get in the mindset that this is going to take time. This is going to take consistency. This is going to take patience. It's not going to be easy every single day, but I'm not going anywhere. And if I have a mental funk for 3 months out of a year, I'm going to figure out how to crawl myself out of that. I'm going to do the personal development that I need to do. I'm going to, plug into our team, and I'm going to ask for help, and I'm going to reach out to my coach and say, I need you. Like, you're going to do what you need to do to continue to be here. And then number 6 is put your blinders on and have your vision in the forefront. Erica Shea told me this morning, we were on a Zoom power houring together kind of, and she said, man, it's crazy what having your vision board posted all around your house does for you. She said, I have it in my bathroom. I have it in my office. I have it in my bedroom. Y'all, if you see that everywhere in your house when you're walking around, or on your home screen of your phone, every time you pick your phone up, you see that, there is so much power in having that vision in the forefront every single day, because that's where your focus stays. Blinders on just means that you don't do what I did for the first 3 years and consume yourself with what other people think, because Nobody else on your social media is paying your bills. Nobody else on your social media is building your house. Nobody else on your social media is helping you come home from your job so that you can create more time with your kids. You are. So do what you have to do to block all that negativity out and block out what somebody might think. Okay. And then this last little piece down at the bottom is a quote that Summer Tucker said a bajillion years ago, and it has just always stuck with me, is don't let your fear hold someone's future captive in your mouth. That means, what if there is somebody on the other side of your phone or the other side of your computer screen who is up to their eyeballs in debt, and they have college debt and their house payment and medical bills and all these things, and they feel like they're drowning? But what if you just sent them this one simple invite to an opportunity for them to create income from home, and a year later their life was completely different? Or maybe it's somebody like me who had an eating disorder for 11 years and was pregnant, still struggling with an eating disorder, and had a new baby and was struggling with an eating disorder. And if someone hadn't reached out and invited me to this, would I still be struggling with that 6 years later? I hope not. But what if I was, right? So you have to sort of take on the responsibility that you have something that can change people's lives, and get over the fear, get over the what people are going to think, because you have the potential to help them create massive change. Okay, so last slide and we'll get off of here. I really thought I could be done in 30 minutes. So next steps. Number one, do not get off this call and not take action. I think it's so easy, and I'm guilty of it, like listening to the National Wake Up Call every week or reading my PD or whatever. We read it and we consume it and we get off at, and 10 minutes later, we're like, yeah, rah, rah, we feel so good. And then we wake up the next day and we don't really do anything different, right? So take action. If you have not gotten clear on your vision for 2021, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, if you haven't done that, you need to get clear on that. And then I want you to really sit and connect the dots with that vision and what you need to do in your business to make it reality. What rank do you need to accomplish in the next week if you're not an emerald yet? In the next 3 months if you're not a diamond yet? In the next year if you're not a 2-star, right? Set your goal dates for those rank advancements and then go to work. Show up. This is the third really, really, really tangible thing that I can say changed in 2018. Showing up every single day. Every single day wasn't perfect. Didn't mean that I sent 50 million invites every day, but I showed up in some capacity every single day in 2018, and I went 1-star and my income doubled. So show up, get to work. Like I said, I have a sneak peek on the 22nd. So start inviting to that. I actually purchased a whole thing from Pixel and Hue that's like this whole sneak peek guide. I wish I could say I had done as wonderful a job as they did, but I didn't. So we're going to use that. So the format is already done. The posts are already done. It's really, really, really professional. So we're going to use that, and I'll be posting. There's like some things to post for you guys ahead of the sneak peek. So look for that. And let's just do the thing this year. All right. Does anybody have questions? I know there was some chat going on, but I couldn't see it. VIP member, Erica Shea says, VIP member is what I say first. And you guys, don't forget the preferred customer program is coming. So I kind of need to still study the details for that. But from what I understand, VIP or preferred customers will still count towards your rank if someone decides to sign up in that way. They just aren't able to enroll anyone as a customer or coach. Erica bought bunk beds. with some of her Beachbody money. Um, do not put diamond coaches on a pedestal and think that you can't ever reach that, because you can. It's literally kicking your limiting beliefs to the curb and working consistently towards your vision. Ditto. Krista, do you want to add anything?
I'm on my phone, so this is weird. I just thought, I think when you're going through those slides, if you're a new coach or an Emerald coach or a coach that's been here for 6, 8 months, a year, and still sitting at coach rank, I think when you hear about diamond coaches and you hear about advancing your business, and then you even see the average income that those coaches make, it seems really unattainable. And I think sometimes we see diamond coaches and we hold them to a really high standard and put them up on this pedestal, but there is literally no secret sauce to this business. When I started, I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that I had a vision and I had goals, and I was going to work towards them and do whatever it took to learn and to actively learn. My coach didn't talk to me about rank advancing and moving to Emerald until like 4 months into my business. It took me probably 6 months to rank advance on Emerald, but nobody had ever talked to me about that before. But once I made the decision and set a goal date, then I moved towards it. And same thing with Diamond. It's literally just consistently showing up on social media and, using the business activity tracker that Beachbody has put out for us, or I know my team loves what we call the Power of 3 tracker, showing up consistently for your business, adding 3 to 5 new customers a month, and sharing with them the coach opportunity. It's going to grow your business. They're going to transform their lives, and they're going to want to join you. And that's literally when the fun starts. When you are surrounded by a team of people, it doesn't mean you have all the answers. It doesn't mean that you never have the support of your upline and that you have to go out on your own, but it means that you're building people, or bringing people in underneath you who want to do this with you. And that's what's exciting. That's what brings the energy, and that's what gets you excited to continue on. When I advanced and got my second business center, you guys, I set a goal date to then get my second business center to Diamond. And once I kind of sat on it for a while, because at that time it actually didn't make sense for me to build to Diamond. But once it made sense and I set a goal date, like that's what I just focused on, and that's what I worked towards. And those were the things that I was talking about, in my manifestations every morning and my goals, and that's what I would show up in. But essentially, when you get that second business center underneath you, you're like a whole new brand new coach under you, and that really brings some great income opportunity as well. But you can't think that it's this unicorn thing. It is not. It literally just takes showing up every day and kicking your limiting beliefs to the curb and telling yourself you can do it and putting in the work to do it.
So good. Mic drop. I think we will end with that. Thank you guys for being here. I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, that you kind of ponder over or whatever, just holler at me and be on the lookout for the sneak peek stuff. Y'all have a good night.